A judge has sentenced former British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell to 20 years in prison.
A federal jury convicted Maxwell in December for helping her longtime associate Jeffrey Epstein recruit, groom, and sexually abuse teenage girls. Let's bring in CBS News national correspondent Jerika Duncan, who is outside the courthouse. Hi there, Jerika. So break down this sentencing for us. Was it what prosecutors were looking for?
Prosecutors were looking for her to spend significant time behind bars. Again, as you noted at the top of this, 20 years behind bars with 5 years of supervised probation. Now, what was really interesting in all of this was hearing from Ghislaine Maxwell for the first time. She had words of empathy for the victims who gave their statements prior to her addressing the court. She said that knowing Jeffrey Epstein was the biggest regret of her life. She said that he was cunning and manipulative. She said she felt for the victims and hoped that this day would bring them a sense of peace, saying that his impact and all of those close to him was devastating. She said Jeffrey Epstein should have stood here before you addressing the court in 2005 and again in 2009, she said, and in 2019. All those accused, charged, and prosecuted, referring to Jeffrey Epstein. But she said today is not about Epstein. It's about all the victims here to address me. She said, I am sorry for the pain that you've experienced. I hope that my incarceration brings you peace. She hopes that it allows them to look forward and not backward. She said that the relationships that she has lost, she cannot regain as a result of her connection and friendship, really, to Jeffrey Epstein. And at the very end, she said, may this day help you travel from darkness into light. It was a stunning remarks, if you will, from Ghislaine Maxwell, who, again, we have not really heard from, and it was unclear if she was going to address the court. But today she did, apologizing to the victims and really saying that she hopes that this day brings them peace. The judge making note prior to the sentencing that this is not an issue of Ghislaine Maxwell being a proxy for Jeffrey Epstein, she said, but this is someone who was part of a scheme and committed crimes.
Kelly, with you? What?
ACP, did you see this?
Look, if it ain't official Dana J, Levi for Kelly, Primadonnanews, I don't even want to see it. Just take the phone. Look, you got some weed? Dang. Gotta get some. All right, hurry up.
Because nobody. Because I never was on the team with these people. And before you think I'm on the team with these people, I'd rather just make it click. I don't give a fuck about them. I'll be kumbaya. We all have an understanding and respect. But are we friends on the team? No, not at all. The only person that I'm friends with and on the team with is DJ Tyson. Nobody else. Not one person. Not one person. They ain't yelling the Enterprise and they tell lies. Point blank, period. If they ain't part of the Enterprise, they tell lies. Because anybody that's really defending Robert Sylvester Kelly will say, hey, the indictment says anybody that's with him is the Enterprise, and I'm with him. That's what I'm saying. And if you're with him, then say you the Enterprise too. Don't say it because I told you. Just tell it because that's what they said. They said the Enterprise, the managers, bodyguards, runners, personal assistants, and people of the entourage of Robert Sylvester Kelly, which will be his fans. That's all of us. So if you ain't saying, hey, according to your indictment, Sylvester Kelly, if you ain't willing to go as far as we're willing to go, and we'll pay the consequences if there is any consequences, but I doubt that there'll be a consequence from the taxpaying citizen, from the man who has took secretly bank credit care cards and defrauded a federal financial institution for personal gain for his goddamn stuff. Alright? Are you gonna keep playing with me? Don't you know my home kidnapped kids? they ass and throw them over the bridge. My homie love to kidnap kids. Fuck them in they ass and throw them over the bridge. Now eat that. Sleep on that. Before you get some motherfucking way and get fucked in your ass and get thrown over motherfucker.
Wow. Many are wondering why the government has ironically unsealed this indictment alleging all these actions carried on by this super fan, even though we've sat back and watched so much for almost 2+ years and how he sits back and harasses and tries to intimidate so many, including myself. And though some may be putting up a united front, they know exactly what's going on, as it seems indicated in the paperwork. Somebody that knows him has verified that his voice is in some of these recordings we've seen publicized on YouTube. Now, common sense, a lot of us see exactly what's going on and the games being played and how certain individuals behind the scenes have manipulated so much on these platforms that a lot of people are a little bit lost as to how all these people that don't know RKelly keep getting looped into his case in order to prove his so-called guilt. Now, it don't take a genius to recognize that when this guy was saying 30 rounds, he wasn't talking about selling no ammunition. Yet, the point remains, everybody with a little common sense can see how these people are playing the association game. Now, those following my content know when I came out talking about all these people that need to be held accountable for specific crimes that I'm seeing being alleged in these indictments, and I'm seeing these people come to YouTube trying to put on these debates, put on all these shows for you all, and avoid all the talking points of these people that participated in alleged crimes that should be held accountable. I knew someone clean in the water from that moment, and all these people gravitating towards certain individuals, I clearly made my position very obvious. I'm sitting back watching all the shenanigans, all these people trying to attack these accusers, all the grandstanding they were doing, while the people agitating the situation, claiming they care so much about these accusers, were only making things worse, playing with fire. So when I see these prosecutors coming out, now bringing attention to this guy, let's not be oblivious to how we watched all these key players in the case attach themselves to these YouTube personalities and them come out here with their rhetoric. At the end of the day, we see the games.
Just like the sweetest joy next to get pussy. Picture paragraph loaded, while the words being quoted. Quick to pick the bitches, rap gangs quoted. Bow down to Hail Mary, one quick C. What do we have here now? It's Mike Tyson.
I don't know what's up with Don. I'm gonna call Don, yo. I got Don personal number. I'm gonna call him. Oh, Triana, however you pronounce it. No, I didn't tag you. I tagged my decorators, but I did tell everybody I want to thank my entire team. There's too many names to name everybody, but I tag because they deserve that credit. You get credit when credit is due, and they deserve that credit.
We got the bus. Yeah, we got the bus. We got here back here. Tell y'all can't be 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 here.
Now, my position is the same as it was when I first started blogging, that some of these people are relying on janky-ass sources, and when I uncover so much fraud on this internet, and then we see new information emerging that would indicate why so many of these people would like to keep these players behind the scenes, why all these people perform in front of you on these platforms. The point, just like they want to conveniently associate certain individuals to make their case, people want to overlook the obvious associations I pointed out with Epstein from the jump and some of these sketchy characters and their political connections. So when we see this propaganda that came out attacking this man and all these people running with these stories, I laid it out there that these people were watching these platforms. And the hypocrisy is how they claim to care so much about these girls when we see what it really is. Yet I wasn't willing to be nobody crash dummy to avoid the fact in pointing out that I believe that RKelly is being used as the scapegoat to avoid prosecuting these individuals they claim did this and that, and only have circumstantial evidence and hearsay testimony to back up. So when it comes to this sentencing tomorrow, let's not forget that it's all semantics. He still has an appeal, he's still fighting for an acquittal, and the fight is far from over when we all see the truth. That according to them and all these years of abuse, they can only validate their case with people that don't even know this man. People that done robbed him blind and overall clout chasers. Make this shit make sense.